Hi, Eat, Move, Sleep team, and welcome to the admin panel training for the study. Before we jump into the functionality of the admin panel, I want to point out a few things. First is the URL that I have highlighted. I'm giving this training using what we call our internal stage or multi-branch environment. This is an entirely different URL than where you will have access to the admin panel on stage and production. The reason why I'm currently on multi-branch is because the admin panel isn't quite ready to share with the team. Second, I'm demoing a admin role, however, your specific admin role may look a little different depending on the needs of your site and what you're allowed to have access to. And lastly, all admins must request an account using the Request Admin Account button. You will need to do this on your Stage admin account and on your Production admin account. During the account request, you'll be led to set up two-factor authentication through Duo on your smartphone. After you've completed your account request, you will have to be approved by your study manager. Study managers will receive additional training on how to approve admin accounts. Each time that you log into your admin account, you will be prompted by Duo to certify the login by responding to a push message. Now I'm going to go ahead and demo the login process. I've created a test user, and now I'm prompted by Duo Mobile to authenticate by responding to a push notification on my cell phone. Okay, and now we are in the Eat, Move, Sleep admin panel. And we have participants, reports, messages, and settings. The only other item that we're going to go over is DocuSign as well. And so down here we have the shortcut versions of the tabs that are also displayed up top. You can go ahead and disregard queries and data entry, and unless you're a study manager, you can disregard admins as well. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Let's jump into the functionalities of the admin panel. We're going to go ahead and start off by clicking on Participants. Here we see a list of all participants who have signed up for the Eat, Move, Sleep study. We see information at a bird's eye view. We can also see a dashboard and a search bar. For the columns, we have Participant ID, which is analogous to Eureka ID, participant name, email address, date of birth, whether or not the participant is active. Active is referring to participants who have not withdrawn their consent from the study. Whether or not the participant has consented, the date they signed the consent, whether or not the participant has confirmed their email address, and then this handoff tool. The handoff tool allows admin users to jump into a particular participant's admin panel account. We do not recommend the use of the handoff tool except in extenuating circumstances. The last column is the changelog column, which you can go ahead and disregard. Let's go ahead and begin by clicking on the Eureka ID. I'm going to click on the Eureka ID for this participant, Chaya. In this area, you can update a participant's name or email. This is typically done in the event of a typo during registration. You can also change a participant's password. Participants can change their own password on the Eureka app or the website, but sometimes it is easier to help participants directly and share the new password with them. To make a change to the name, email, or even date of birth fields, type in the correct field and then scroll down to hit save. On the top right-hand corner, we see two checkboxes. The first is for confirmed email. You won't see this checked often since Eureka does not require an email address to be confirmed. The second checkbox is how you can mark a participant as a test user. Only mark participants as test if you truly know they are indeed test users. By marking someone as a test user, this filters the user out of study maintenance reports and study data exports. It also prevents study messages from being sent. When you're on the stage or testing environments, you do not need to mark your participants as test, as that is implied because you're in a test environment. However, when you are on the production environment, please make sure you mark your test users as test so you don't skew your data. If you make any changes here, make sure you save them. In the box labeled status, you can hover over the tooltips to learn about the different statuses a participant can have. Most participants will be active. If someone wishes to withdraw from the study, you will need to update the radio button to withdrawn and then scroll down and hit save. No need to do anything in the consent area or the referrals area. I'll go ahead and demonstrate where to find a participant's consent in a moment. Okay, let's navigate back to the full list of participants by clicking on participants at the top of the navigation. And I'm going to use the same test participant that I was looking at. I'm going to click on the participant's name. By clicking on a participant's name, the participant's individual profile is loaded. The first tab is Basic Info. We see the participant's contact information, and we also see how and if they consented. An e-consent is a consent where the participant just hits agree or disagree, while DocuSign is used when a full signature is required. Both e-consent and DocuSign can be downloaded from the admin panel. Second, let's go ahead and look at the Activity tab. This tab outlines where a participant is in the study. Our system groups activities by eVisits. So eVisit 1 is the first collection of study activities. By clicking on the green section names, you'll see an accordion-style drop-down of all activities within the section. A gray circle means that the activity is open. A green check mark, which I don't think that there are any here. Well, a green check mark means that the activity has been completed. And a red X, which is also not shown, shows that the activity has expired. When a new eVisit of activities is available for a participant, they will be visible here. Some activities have an expiration date. If an activity does not have an expiration timestamp, it does not expire. Next, let's go ahead and take a look at the Messages tab. The Messages tab holds a log of all messages sent to participants. For the Eat, Move, Sleep study, participants could receive email messages. Messages in the queue show a list of messages that the participant may receive if the right conditions are met. The only column that is of importance in the Messages in the Queue tab is the To Be Sent column. With knowledge of the study's message configuration and using the To Be Sent column, you can check in on when this participant will get their next messages. Now, I'm going to jump to the messages at the top of the admin panel navigation because the other tabs here are not of great importance for the Eat, Move, Sleep study. So, the Messages tab at the top of the admin panel navigation outlines all the reminder messages for the study. It shows the message type, so push, SMS, or email. but for the Eat, Move, Sleep study, all messages will be email. It's also going to show the content of the message if applicable. It also shows the conditions, and the conditions are a bit cryptic, but ultimately this page will outline all of the messages that are configured for the Eat, Move, Sleep study. Okay, and that is all for now. We will pick up in a few.